All right, folks, it's 6:30. Welcome. Happy to see everybody here. Let's start with the approval of the February minutes. Has everybody read them? Is that an unfair question? Does anybody have a nomination for a motion?
I move that we accept the
I know.
Second,
Second.
all in favor? Opposed? Yep, that's done. Okay. Now, in lieu of my remarks, Bruce, if you want to go now, that way you don't have to sit through the thrill of the next hour or
Well,
so.
I know you have another meeting after this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he does?
Well, I don't know, do you? Like, there's another board, the
I
club,
just came from a meeting, but what?
the club's having a meeting.
Oh, they are?
Yeah,
The drum
yeah,
board was?
yeah,
Okay.
7, yeah.
I'm not part of that, but
Okay, not part of that, no
I just figured, because you guys are connected here, I wanted to just explain, I'm with a company that's got a lot of grant money for environmental projects. And there might be some opportunities here at Drum Point that might work well for somebody that's interested in doing some kind of environmental research or assessments of projects. I'm with the Cove Point Natural Heritage Trust, and we have, we're responsible for the 1,000 acres around the LNG plant. And also the almost a mile and a half of shoreline there. We also have about 200 acres of conservation land around Helen Creek that we manage. But we have grant money. So grant money that could do a variety of things. Let me just read off a few things that, that they could provide. Just as an idea, there's a lot of these empty lots in this neighborhood. There's about 130 of them. The Southern Cattle Land Trust, which I'm also part of, has 76 of them, and I think you guys have about 57 or
I
something.
think there's a total of 126 that are not
So,
billable, so that's.
so those are all lots that we could do projects on, if they're, and we've got some funding to do it. Anything from if someone wanted to do a native plant garden, or maybe trail work, if you wanted to do. Part of our thing is connecting people to nature. And I'd love to see some trail work that can be done through some of these lots. There's also a lot of contiguous lots that are without homes along Lake Vista. We could talk about creating a park, you know. To give you an idea, one thing is there is an attempt to do the of ivy removal, because there's a big problem with ivy in the state. And it's never really gotten to a part where it's really, I know we're starting, we've done 3 lots so far this winter, and the snow didn't help us and all that. But there's a lot of lots that are just getting choked with ivy. And it's not only it's not good for the woods and trees and nature on the lots, but it's not good for releasing in the air oxygen and photosynthesis with the trees. Other thing we could do is, you know, we have phragmites in certain places. We have it on the Drum Point Club along has some areas, and I think along your beach there's some phragmites there.
Well, you've been taking care of it.
Yeah, ours we've been
Years now.
taken care of,
Okay,
but
good.
if you guys could get money for the club so that they
Yeah.
could do theirs, that would be
Yeah.
Because
wonderful.
their stuff creeps onto ours and we're still keeping it.
Yeah, and that's, and also you have the inlet there if you wanted someone that wanted to do some research what's happening with that inlet. That's something more for
On
the
the
Drum
club,
Point Club.
that's a
Yeah.
club.
Some other things, maybe there was a lot that we could create a meadow, you know, and put in natural plants and make it for pollinators and for creatures and all that. That could be something to do with some of these lots.
Oh, my neighbors here.
We also do support a lot of water monitoring. We have about 120 sites that get tested all around Calvert County. And I know April 5th is a big blitz of sampling creeks, and they got Ted Haney that's heading up the Mill Creek testing. But there's a lot of streams around here that we're interested in doing testing, so we have a better understanding of what's going into the waters. And that's, right now we're on our 2nd year of quarterly testing, and the more years we have, the better read we're going to have in terms of doing hypothesis and trying to understand what's good, what's bad, and all that. Lake Vista, there might be someone who might wanna do some water testing with this, even the Drum Point Lake, you know, which is shared by the Drum Point Club as well as DPPOA.
How about Lake Charming?
Lake Drum,
You know, God knows where that water comes from.
Some of the lots could be managed better. I mean, we could create more habitats for critters. They call them snags, which is a good place for barn owls or for different kinds of animals. You can create snags or little habitats. That could be done. Also, osprey platforms. We also support studies. We have a lot of researchers and scientists that we do studies with. We have a guy that does horseshoe crab studies every year. We do damselflies and dragonfly studies. We have a stand of hemlock trees on the preserve that we have around Helen Creek, and we're trying to do studies to help that. But I don't think we have any hemlocks in our area here, but just give you an idea. I'm with the Osprey folks, I'm working on doing a kiosk, informational kiosk, and we're looking to maybe do it on one of the Southern Cal Land Trust lots, where we can put up a kiosk that explains migration of the osprey and their habitats and the importance of it. And so kiosks, educational kiosks. Someone wanted to do a newsletter, and that neighborhood newsletter focused on ecology and environment. We could support that. So just give you an idea. So if you got somebody within DPPOA is looking to do some research or something for environment, we have $30,000. We're supporting small grants up to between $1,000 and $2,500. And this year we'd like to do around 15 to 18 small grants. Next year we're going to try to move the number from 30,000 to 40,000. We want to keep on increasing that. We have 50 lots in White Sands. We're going to be approaching them too, about the same thing.
I have a question. Would the land trust be applying for the grant on behalf of the association? And I ask that because you're a 501(c), I think. We're a 501(c)(4). And I know years ago when we were trying to get grants for various things, I was told there's no point in you even trying. And then of course lately Mike tried to get a grant for the jetty at the community beach, same thing.
Yeah.
You just can't compete.
Yeah, it would have to be, it'd have to be an
Like a
environment.
joint effort or something?
Yeah, something like that. The jetty possibly could have created at the time, but we only contribute, we're doing small grants.
Well, I understand
And
that, but just my point being
Yeah.
is that if we are going to apply for a grant, like I like the idea of trails. We've had a lot of requests for that over the years, but I know as a 501(c)(4), the association loses out.
I don't think you will have an issue with that.
Oh, really? Okay.
The issue is, we don't want to give it to governmental agencies or really private,
Mhm.
but if you're considered a nonprofit, right?
Not for profit,
No.
totally different.
Okay, but still, that's nonprofit, not for profit. Non-governmental agencies is what we support. We support also researchers,
Mhm.
individuals,
Mhm.
organizations. So to just give you an idea. We do some we're doing a scholarship at Jackson High School, we're doing St. Mary's College. So we're doing things that are small projects for scholarships that contribute. So I wouldn't get hung up, that's not a problem.
What's the duration of?
It might have been a different situation at the time.
I don't know, I went to a seminar and was told by the woman running the seminar that there's just very little chance of our kind of an organization getting a grant for these things.
I was just gonna suggest, since you're saying an individual that's not a part of an association can apply, I mean, I usually come to the general meeting, right?
Good.
You usually,
Yeah, I have, I would say.
because that might be a place for you to discuss this also. Because you're pretty reach.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. I know, like, I was just watching the news today, which is scary, but a lot of the open space programs, they might get completely defunded.
Yeah, there's a lot of
federal
that,
programs.
a lot of it's being pulled back.
Yeah,
So that's, we're trying to come in to replace some of that.
Yeah.
But one of the things where our goal, I'm not gonna, I'll be real quick because I know you've got a meeting, but our goal is to fund organizations that typically don't get funded because they're too small.
Yeah, yeah.
And usually that chokes out a lot of good innovation and a lot of good effort and all that, so, yeah. Yeah, so like a community garden might be a cool thing. You know, that'd be something if you, a lot, to you can get people to, with the idea with a community garden would be fine, but maybe with the idea part of it could be, food could be given to a food bank or.
But yeah, they do
part
that
of
at
it, something like-
ACLT, they,
But,
yeah.
so it would be a community garden, but we wanna see some good into every, whatever we do, there's gotta be some good. And, cause what happens is these proposals are coming in and, we have a May 15th deadline. And then we're gonna start another program the next 6 months, so we're gonna keep these continuous going. But, they're gonna be evaluated and it's not a sure bet, people can do it. But if someone's got a good idea, we encourage them to do it, because, we're looking at 15 to 18, and I tell you the truth, I don't think we'll be able to approve 15 to 18 by May. So if somebody, May 15.
You mentioned an osprey nest. Now, wouldn't that require approval of a homeowner that lives on the water?
I'll just give you an example. Probably what I would say is Drum Point Club put 2 osprey nests on their beaches this past year. It could be an osprey nest that's over on your property, over where you are at. It could be platforms that we put in maybe one Lake Vista, maybe one over in the Drum Point Lake area.
Yeah, they usually have to come out and see if it's a proper place, because
Does
they can't be too close to each other, there's like territories at the, yeah.
Or like a barn owl, or if you're doing maybe wood ducks boxes, you have to get somebody that would really know where the areas are and all that. And there might be some permitting or something with the DNA, but, that's, I just want to let everybody know there's grants available.
Is there an application somewhere?
Yes, I have. I'll give you a couple applications here.
What's the duration of these projects? Are they have to be done within a year or 2 years or something?
We're looking for, they would be something that could be done within 6 months, a year. We did have one that took 4 years to take, but typically 6 months to a year. And it would have to be a project leader, someone that's gonna be running the project and putting in the application. But again, you may have somebody that is perfect for this project. Just contact me. I think there was somebody that was trying to do some living shorelines.
I don't know. Maybe Rita would know.
What is that? I'm sorry.
Someone doing living shorelines?
Here in Drum Point?
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Or pollinator gardens?
I know that our beach had to have like beach grasses and so on. I guess that's part of the living shoreline requirement. Other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, it really can't go for a commercial project, and that's probably
Right.
your project would have been more of may have been more of a
Oh, yeah,
commercial
of
project
course.
rather than environmental,
Right.
but the point is that we might have been able to contribute last year, but
I don't know.
we didn't talk to you guys. Sorry.
I don't
We
know.
do, well, thank you very much, but seriously, just, anyone else who's had anybody?
No, it just so happens I've actually been thinking for a while, but how could I do an osprey nest in front of the
Oh, well,
house?
there you go. Because it seems like this is gonna require a good bit of research as far as pricing for it. And then we would need to get it into next
Takes a
year's
telephone call
budget.
and
So if we were to be approved for something like this, would it be able to be done next budget year? Because, our
Yeah.
budget is,
Well, we're we have $30,000 fund this year, we're gonna try to have $40,000 next year,
so it
so.
might be something that we would more likely be able to apply for
Yeah.
next
because-
budget year, because fiscal year.
Because so in essence, the grant program is being evaluated in May, June, and then it'll be evaluated, the next program will be evaluated in November, December.
Okay, so May,
And
June.
then the
so
following
we'll be
year,
next year's
we're,
budget.
this is a this program's been going on
Oh,
for
has it?
about 12 years, but it's been too much under the radar. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it more visible.
Well, that's why I was suggesting you come to the general meeting on Saturday, the 22nd at 10.
That's March 27th?
March 22nd at the 10, at the Drum Point Club,
What time is it?
10.
I might be able to make it early, but I have another meeting that same day, that Saturday, the 23rd. But I can provide information.
Yeah, because that at least, we hope there'll be at least 35 voting.
Well, that's our prayer.
Or just give them my name, just so you
Yeah.
Tom mentioned
So,
it. someone's
Bruce,
looking
or
for
if you can't come,
Oh, yeah, if you can't come, here,
voting.
yeah.
Councilor Quorum,
If you have a write-up, we could put it in the next newsletter.
that as well.
Okay.
That would
That's
be a
true,
good
yeah,
idea.
right.
That
Give us a
way,
paragraph
more people
and-
can,
Yeah,
because there might be these, gardeners out
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
or like
yeah.
a
Somebody
lot
that
of
wants
people.
to have an osprey,
Yeah.
you know,
yeah, oh, yeah.
feeling trails that you kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
chew.
Yeah, I'd love to do some trail work.
I've had a few requests over the years. It would be nice to go through there, because a lot of that's owned by the land trust or the association, so.
Yeah, when you put the Southern California Land Trust and your properties together, it's
Quite
surprising, there's a lot of places you could connect them all
That's
up.
right.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, for sure.
All right, thanks, have a good
Thanks
meeting.
for
Thank
listening.
All right. We'll say that counts as president's remarks. Moving on to office updates.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Jack's report come as my office update.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Other guys.
I'm easy.
Shifting around here.
So, obviously, bills went out, whatever, end of January, and I just want to make note of this one. Got a call from somebody who's, actually was on the uncollectible column, because I hadn't heard from him in years and years and years. So he paid $1,469, and he said he was told by the county, when he called about his property taxes, and so on, including the special tax district, just not worry about it, just let it go to tax sale, don't pay it. So when I talked with him, I said, well, you know, that probably goes against your credit. And he said, no, I did not know that. They did not tell me that. So anyway, once again, this is the second one, I think, in the last few months, because I think I'm repeating myself, but it was a different person. It was smart not to remove those completely from the
Yeah,
balance sheet.
yeah.
Because every so often, I'll get somebody contacted by a kid, grandkid, an attorney, whatever. So that's a good thing. There is a property owner on Holly Way. He may have forgotten about it by now, but he said that he thinks he's having mail stolen from his mailbox. And on Holly Way, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's a cul-de-sac, and it's a little cul-de-sac. And years ago, there were some issues with, area being obstructed for various reasons and so on. The post office made them bring all their mailboxes out to Delaware, I think it is, and put them in one of these banks of post offices, or postal boxes, and mailboxes, that's it. Anyway, he would like to know if we could have something like CRE has. I don't know, have you ever driven into CRE and seen
Well, I
their?
have, but I don't
Well,
think
they are like a bank of lock boxes
Oh,
that you
yeah,
get the
yeah,
key
oh,
to, and I said, it's kind of up to the postal service. They're the ones that
Yeah.
dictate what kind of mailboxes are allowed and where they have to be
Well,
placed
does-
and
They
so on.
actually own those.
Oh, do they? They
But,
own them and put them
well, but it's my understanding the neighborhood has to pay to get them in there. It's not like the post office
Yeah.
pays for that.
Right.
Mill Creek had theirs put in years ago now, and they had to pay to have that done. So anyway, discussion.
And would that be just for anybody, except people that would want it, I mean,
Well,
we have.
He did
Is he sure that it's getting stolen, it's
I
not
don't think
just
so.
misdelivered?
I
Because
think-
I've had plenty of mail
I-
misdelivered.
And sometimes you'll get somebody else's.
Yeah,
mail.
and you're like doing the second.
What mail is being stolen?
I have no idea.
Whatever.
He just called one day, seemed to think he was missing something, and asked me to, would we consider doing these mailboxes? And I
Well,
said,
it's like
I
a-
wonder how much they would cost, I mean, it's hard to
there's
say.
several hundred, like Mill Creek Condos did theirs like in 2018. And I want to say it was $600, $700, $800. I
How
don't
many
remember, it's been
Yeah,
too
how
many
many
years.
boxes?
Well, there's 54 property owners there.
So there were 54 boxes.
Yeah, little
That's pretty
boxes.
cheap.
CRE
They
has,
fed,
well, that
a
was
lot,
for like
multiples of that.
one unit with all of these in it. At CRE, you've got a lot of units all over the
Yeah,
place.
Yeah,
What,
yeah.
you might spend $700, $800 for one with 54, but you might also spend $700, $800 for one with 6 or 8, because it's the same basic structure, a little bigger, a little smaller.
A
So-
question, Do they,
I think
do
it's
they
a
have
problem.
mail delivery to
Doesn't
their,
need to be solved.
their houses in the CRE?
No, they
No,
come
to
to
the-
these
to
boxes.
the
So,
post office
so you
box.
have to have that, you have to use
I
that.
think you have to use it.
Yeah.
I don't know for
That's-
sure, but I think you have to use it, because
That's-
they're all over in CRE, aren't they?
That's sort of like our friend George who lives up in West Virginia. The whole community has
Yeah.
to drive.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
To
not
this
going to the end
bank
of my
of boxes.
driveway and getting my mail.
Well, and I think
which
his
I get.
idea was that every area would have, you know, one. I think it's a problem that really doesn't need a lot of
Okay.
solving.
He might put a
I mean, he could
complaint.
get a PO box.
He should,
That's-
yes, he should.
Yeah,
He could-
there you
yeah,
go. Yeah.
he could
Yeah, has he
complain
complained to the
to the
post
post
office?
office
I
about,
don't know.
well, that's what he should do.
Mail
I'll
theft,
suggest
you
that
know,
too.
Yeah,
that's not us.
even if it's just junk mail they're stealing.
Yeah.
Is he the only one complaining?
He's the only one that's mentioned it. And it was really his, in many ways, part in parking a great big truck and trailer in that little cul-de-sac that years ago caused the post office to tell them all, bring it out to Mohawk. So, and I kind of gently, nicely reminded him that. I don't think it's a, I just told him I would let you know, so here I am.
Okay, thank you.
I think for one person.
All right.
And he's not even sure anything's getting stolen, and if it is, he's not sure what it is.
Yeah.
So he should be talking to the post office.
I agree, and I'll mention that to him, I'll get in touch and,
But it's good, yeah.
If the
Good to
post
know that's
office,
going, I mean,
Yeah.
if there are people going around stealing it, it would be good for us to know. but
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
also-
Oh, yeah.
But he's the
but,
only one
you
that's
know,
complaining.
Yeah.
but the post office, I'm sure, has some way of monitoring and establishing whether somebody's stealing mail or
You
not.
should definitely report it.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
that's,
Do that,
that's a
yeah.
good point.
Yeah, to the post office, yeah.
And I did send out an email to the community just to let them.
Yeah, I saw that.
Be mindful, just, you know,
Yeah.
because he wanted to let everybody know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, next, I don't know if Mike's not here, he kind of looks after the grasses there, speaking on the beach. And Joe, you know, repairs the fence when need be, and so anyway, Joe said the grasses are doing quite well.
Well, Tony and I
And
just
he
walked down there
wondered-
today, and it looks very good.
If
The
we could
fence
just
is
remove
broken.
The fence is kind of
The fence is
cloudy.
Well,
broken.
and I know, well, yeah, it was the other day as well, but Joe said, gee, can we just take this fence down?
Now, I
Aren't
think
we
we can.
required to keep it
That's
for
what
like
I-
5 years?
We're required to keep those, to monitor those grasses for 5 years.
But I thought we had that.
As I recall, and I'll get in touch with the woman, I can't think of her name right now, when I asked her 2 years ago, how long does this fence have to stay up? She said, she really couldn't, she didn't know.
She just
This
said,
was kind
You
of
won't
new
live
for
long
them.
enough to see
You know,
it
if
find
we
out.
send them a picture of it, and say, this is
I
how
send them
well
a
it's
picture
doing.
every year.
Oh, okay.
Well, 2 years
Oh, okay.
now, yeah, every December
So is
1st
it-
or 10th or something. I send
Are we
them a
entering the
report.
third year
Yes.
of this now?
Yes.
I would just keep it up and if it.
Yeah, but we gotta, it keeps getting either blown down
Yeah,
or
well,
teenage
yeah,
power.
Right,
you know.
but
But the grasses are still doing well.
Yeah,
Yes.
once it goes, once
That's
it's
the important thing.
gone though, with
Yeah.
the, it'll, people will be trampling on it.
Yeah.
so,
What, and not only that, but where the fence is broken,
Uh-huh.
that's where there's no grass. And
Yeah.
there used to be grass there.
Yeah.
Did there?
Yeah,
So
so
there-
it's worth checking it.
I think
Okay.
we,
It could be
you know,
water.
if we can
It
fix,
could be,
Yeah, so there's only
Could be
for 2 more,
storms.
Yeah, we
2
have a
more years,
little-
right?
yeah, it could be anything,
it
but,
could be
you know.
storms, it could be,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, yeah,
but-
yeah. We have a little extra fencing
Okay.
in the shed.
So maybe
because
they
we
could
have
just
some. Yeah,
Pick that up.
yeah, that's what he does.
Okay.
That's what he
But I
does. He just
mentioned
thought
as
maybe
a,
it
as a
could come down.
coincidence, that where the fence is down, that's
Yeah,
where
that's
there's
right.
no grass.
Right.
So then, next, you know, we all remember the Corporate Transparency Act and you guys having to give me your information and so on. And received word that the federal government will not be enforcing that, other than for, I guess, foreign investors. So, there's that.
Some logic, finally.
Well,
Indeed.
they might not
So
like
much
my last
logic.
name.
It might sound suspect,
That's right. Watch out for this guy.
those Lithuanian names.
Yeah.
So then the office repairs for the inspection.
Oh, yeah.
CMB Electric will be here tomorrow at 8, a little after 8, to take care of all the electrical issues. I talked with Joe Stevenson about that roof that's on that board that's on
Yeah.
the roof. And he came and looked at it, and he said, we didn't do that. He said, we do not touch electric, which stands to
Yeah,
reason.
yeah.
Oh, bowling
Yeah.
with trees.
Yeah.
No, there's a line, I'm not touching that.
Yeah.
So, but he did say that once I call SMECO, that he would, for 175, would repair the shingles and so on,
Okay.
and whatever has happened under it. But he said I should call SMECO to find out why that's like that. So when I talked again with CMB Electric, before I call SMECO, I wanted to ask him, he's gonna look at it tomorrow. He doesn't think that's anything they would have done. They installed the generator 12 years ago. 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, they are electricians, so, you know, a little more likely, but he said, I can't see why we would have.
Yeah, well, it doesn't look
Doesn't
like
make
the
any
kind of
sense.
thing any rational person
No,
would do.
no, exactly right. So anyway, he'll look at it tomorrow, but then I will call SMECO. And then Joe Bateman has done some minor repairs. He's gonna replace that lock. He'll be here tomorrow. And I can take, underwriter wants photos of everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, on the electrical thing,
Yeah,
make sure that guy takes before and after
Yeah.
photos and
Yeah.
explanations
Right,
of what and why and
right,
how.
right. Like that one cable that they said was feeding,
Yeah.
it's too big of a cable to
Yeah,
feed
whatever,
into that
yeah.
smaller. He said, that's not what that is at
Okay,
all.
well then, good,
At all.
then a picture and a written
He
explanation
gave,
from an
and he gave us
electrician.
the written explanation on the estimate. But yeah, we'll make
Yeah,
sure of
yeah,
that
yeah,
as well.
Yeah, yeah.
The only other thing I can think of is the plumbing. I haven't gotten to that. So I thought I would call Mo Lang. You probably don't know.
I don't know.
Langford. You know Mo? Anybody?
Is he a long-time resident?
Oh, yeah, the Langford family, longtime plumbers, and everybody knows Mo.
Oh, is that in the area?
What plumbing problems do we have?
It's in the report.
Oh, yeah, it's nothing
Yeah, I
minor.
don't remember.
This
Oh,
guy-
it was,
was the
yeah, there was a
bathroom.
cap that had to be.
Joe did that. Joe
Oh,
took
okay,
care of
Joe
that. That was
already
just a
did that.
cap.
There's
That was
something in the
nothing.
bath that had to do with the bathroom, wasn't it?
No.
It has something, oh, no.
No, it's some,
Or the kitchen?
I don't remember. There's a little scale drawing of like a water heater, and I don't
Oh, that- No,
remember.
but that's for the yeah, but he gave that drawing of the electric water heater, but applied it to a filter or an elbow that's missing on the generator, which I don't understand.
I don't understand. I know there's a list of electrical work, a list of plumbing work.
Okay,
So
well,
I don't
all right,
know.
all right, okay, yeah.
Anyway, so I'll call Mo.
Yeah,
about
whatever's
that.
on the list, let's get it
Yeah,
fixed.
exactly. I did send the estimate for the electric to our insurance agent, who said she'd forward it to the underwriter, so that they could see that we are making progress. It's not gonna happen tomorrow, you know, it takes time. Just found out the other day, Microsoft will no longer support Publisher, which is what I use to do the newsletter. So, they suggested I use Word, PowerPoint, or something called Designer. I have no idea what Designer is. So I know in Word you can do pamphlets, so I'm guessing maybe I can do it in Word. Anyway, as of October 26th, they will not support Publisher.
Well, could we still use it even if they don't support it? We
Um,
wouldn't get any updates or anything, but.
that's what I
but
don't
maybe
know.
we could
Maybe
just
so.
keep using it.
Maybe, yeah, that would be fine, but the thing of it is, these days, you don't buy the software and you know, have a disk and install it. It's all online.
Oh, so
It's a download monthly fee for Office,
Oh.
so I'm thinking maybe not. But I
Maybe
thought
not.
about that
Oh,
as
okay.
well, but I don't know. So anyway, so just a reminder, March 26th.
Rip off city, no.
I know,
who said
right?
that?
Yeah, it's like the more you pay, the less you get.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So do less with more.
indeed. March 22nd is the membership meeting, and just an FYI for next April, you know, for the April board meeting, a man by the name of Mike Wagner with Think Big Networks. I think
What's the company called again?
Think Big
Oh, Think
Networks.
Big.
They're doing fiber optic
Okay.
in CRE. CRE gave them my name. I contacted the county to see if this was a legitimate
Mhm.
company, and they said, yes, we encourage you to talk to him. So he's on the agenda for the April meeting.
I've seen them working in Drum Point. Laying,
Think Big Networks?
well, someone was putting
Good
fiber
fiber.
optic, just across from Vereda.
Would it be FiOS? I
Are you
mean-
sure it's not Smecco, Bearing?
Yeah,
Islands? 'Cause they've
I
been
saw
around
it
for a
was a van
while.
too, it said Think Big on it.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I don't know.
Think big, maybe he works for Musk, alongside Big Balls.
Don't know.
Think big.
It's getting worse, don't it?
Well, it's just, you know,
Jeez.
word
So,
association.
so if they're already doing some installations here, why?
I don't know, I didn't know they were, and that's our right of way, and they should be asking us about
Yeah,
that.
so
So we will,
Right away.
we will
That's
ask
good.
Mr. Wagner,
Because if they're already
Just to
doing
think
it.
big.
Mr. Think Big, I don't know, can't keep up with all of it.
Well, but maybe it's, you have to, if you we have.
As an individual.
As an individual, they have to
Maybe
have your
so.
permission, once they, and maybe they have to have the grid, and then they attach it to houses that wanna.
Yeah, but they still can't dig
They
in our
still
right of way.
shouldn't do
No,
without
they
our
can't, no,
permission.
no,
They
but
Yeah, right,
they're
it's-
doing something in somebody's house.
Yeah, I would imagine that is probably what it is,
Mhm.
so, that's what that is, then that's it.
One more thing,
No. What?
Yeah.
the sign, the light
Oh,
from the sign.
thank you. Mike called,
Oh,
and he seems to think it is a timer. And I told him what CMB Electric had said.
What sign are you talking about?
The entrance sign at
Oh,
Borrega. So
okay.
ultimately, the end of that
It is
conversation is that I said, Mike, CMB's gonna be here tomorrow, can I give him your phone number? And you can explain what you think it is, and he will tell you what he thinks it is, because he's an electrician.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know
Anyway, it's
what
an
else to
electric
say.
guy, I think, so.
But it's always good to tell an electrician what's wrong with an electrical problem. I found that
Well-
very successful. It's
Well-
been one of my keys to success.
Well, one thing Mike said was the breaker box had turned off, and I said, I know, that's why it's not working. And I said, well, no, Joe turned it off because it had been flashing,
Oh, yes.
or it would turn off completely, or,
It was terrible, I
Yeah.
couldn't even drive by it.
Yeah.
Very
so
comfortable.
I let, well, Mike didn't know that Joe had turned it
Sorry.
off, so
They're
that
having a
is.
seizure.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, I'm just
Come
gonna
to
give
Drum Point and have a seizure.
the guy from CMB Mike's number, and then Mike, because going through me, I'm like, I don't remember. Trying to get it to the CMB guy, and then him telling me, and I don't understand
Well,
what.
I can pitch in and help too, if
Okay.
Mike doesn't
Okay.
have time.
Yeah, remember
And
the first rule is, you know, if it's electrical and it's not working, check that it's plugged in.
Well, there is that.
That's
Yeah.
rule number one.
That's true. All right, that's all I
Oh, good.
have.
All right, well, let's just start and go right around the table. Mr. Safety, what do you got going on?
I don't have much to report on safety. We did, check the equipment a few months ago.
Mhm.
Everything's working, but I don't have anything else additional.
Are you still doing your class to get your?
Yeah, I'm still doing classes.
Okay,
trying
get your
to get my license.
certification or whatever it is, then. There it is.
Mr. Money.
Well, we're gonna go over the accounts today. I did not get to the bank account, so that's part of policies and procedures manual, so I try to do that, but I'll take time to do that. Nothing surprising in the accounts, you know, it's the big hit from the snows.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're broke, right? It's-
No.
So,
Yeah, it was a
we're-
lot.
It was kind of painful, but, you know, we can manage it, no problem.
They were pretty right on the predictions, because
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
they predict
Yeah.
snow and then we don't get it, but we
Yeah.
did.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, we're like, 30,000 over on that line item. But doesn't, we can go more than 50% over. It's for our own funds that we have to get permission from the membership if we go over 50%.
That makes sense.
This
Special
is-
tax district.
This is a tax district.
Well, people would be very upset if we didn't plow those roads, so.
Oh, indeed.
Oh, yeah.
I have a question about the roads. I'm sorry. Do they also salt and plow?
Yeah, if we know for sure it's coming, we pre-set, especially the hills and intersections in particular. And then we do all of it if, again, if we know it's coming for sure, because what happens sometimes is they predict it and then it warms up and it rains. So if you've salted and it rains, you just throw away $16,000 or 15 or something like that. It's $269 a ton. And it takes 20 tons to do the entire
Yeah.
thing.
There's another caveat too, you know, they salt and there's not enough traffic,
That as
the
well.
salt doesn't work.
Exactly,
Oh, is that?
as we found out on Main Street. And if it's too cold, the salt will not work. It's not a
I'm just,
miracle.
I'm sure this has already been discussed and everything, but I know like some roads, they use like a mixture of salt, like a solution. Is
The
that,
salt spray,
And beet juice.
I talked to Mike
yeah,
Darrow about that from
is that any more
Mhm.
effective or
Exactly.
less effective
That's what
or
it is, it's
cost?
pickleball.
It's a lot less expensive, but it's not as effective.
Okay.
CRE does that on their main roads,
Mhm.
because it is so inexpensive,
Mhm,
but it's
mhm.
not as effective.
Mhm.
So, yeah, because I thought, gee, that'd be nice.
I thought that stuff was more effective, and that's
Is it?
why highway departments use it.
They use it according to Mike Toro, Grovers, because it's less expensive.
So you would, so on a flat surface, it's fine, but if you're talking about hilly
I have
areas,
no
it's a
idea.
problem?
I don't know, he just said it's less
Yeah,
expensive.
it just seemed
In
like a
general.
big, like the 90,000, it seemed like a
Right.
big
Yeah, it's
amount
a-
for our amount of snow.
Yeah.
Well, and then,
But it's
the-
3 storms.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
three
That's
storms.
Yeah,
the
no, I
problem.
get it.
and the first one, STD money paid for that, 60,000 and a little more. And then the next two I took out of our own money, so, you know, the DPPOA and covenant money. The last one that we had, it was like, I don't know, and Mike and I were on the phone and texting with each other,
Mhm.
Toro. And he called me or texted me, he said, I'm seeing a lot of complaints on Facebook.
About
Is
what?
Drunk Point going to sell?
Oh,
Because, you know, they were sort of making a call that in Calvert County, we wouldn't get anything. St.
Yeah,
Mary's, yes, and I did.
Yeah. It
And
was
Calvert,
iffy.
yeah, you know, it was iffy. So when he said that, I was just like, just sell the whole thing.
Yeah.
And
then
use a
I
little
did-
pepper too. so
There you
people
go,
won't
so it's a
mind.
little nicer. So I did have a complaint from one woman above Hilltop. And that was what Tony was talking about. It's a shady area, she claims it was never salted. I'm gonna meet Mike there Thursday. It was supposed to be last week, he had surgery, so on and so forth. Anyway, so I'm gonna meet Mike there Thursday to make sure that we're on the same page of music with regard to exactly, because Hilltop goes up, and at some point it turns right. It continues going, but then it also turns right, and that's all of Hilltop. So maybe she's right. I'm not certainly gonna argue with her. But anyway, she was not happy. That's really the only major complaint. I did see an email, unfortunately, they did not plow Huron. And this was what the last storm, and I explained, you don't plow with that much snow,
Right,
you're tearing up your
right.
asphalt.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like 3 or 4 inches is when we begin to plow.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes you see things on Facebook too, but most of it's just not being, it's
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah.
It is.
Some-
So
Ill-
then,
Ill-considered.
so then that same storm, the next morning, he came and redid the hills and the intersections. And to her credit, the person on Hilltop, she's an EMT, or like first
Oh,
responder, so she does have to get out.
Yeah.
So when I'm texting with him, I explained that, and he said, I'll go there first, I'll start there. So that's why I don't know why there's this discrepancy or whatever, so.
And aside, she's an EMT and she has to get out. Does she own a 4-wheel drive vehicle?
One would think, but maybe not. I don't know.
No, I point that out because, you know, in Virginia, the bottom of the cul-de-sac that we live on, it's a hill.
Yeah.
When I had the Suburban,
Mhm.
everybody used to wait until I got out.
Cause then, yeah.
And if I couldn't get out, nobody went.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
No, it
Anyway,
wasn't a Suburban, it was a Tahoe, it was a, not the Tahoe.
4-wheel drive.
Oh, yeah, it was a 4-wheel drive heavy vehicle, that's what it was.
That's what
yes.
matters, yeah, there you go. Anyway, so that's all there is on that.
And that came up because of finance.
Yes, and the money we spent. I was trying to think, why are we talking about that?
And does that finish the,
That's it for,
okay, that's it for finance. Rhea, you wanna do welcoming committee?
Well, I was
while you're
gonna
here?
do operations just a little bit. We already talked
Ah,
about snow
okay.
removal. I did send out the request for proposals. We talked about that last time, I think. And the closing date on that is the 18th of March. So that'll be coming in. There was a little bit of damage on Lakeview of a driveway. I talked with Steve Rowe today. January, it was a little bigger snow, and I was in North Carolina. And they had plowed snow right into this person's driveway, they're weekenders. I talked to Susan at work, I called her, and she said, oh yeah, because she's right across the street.
Yes.
And she
yes.
confirmed, yeah, that it's right in their driveway. So they came back the next day or two and cleaned it out, and when they did that, it was already iced and, you know, hard, so they had to chip away at it, I suppose. And they kind of messed up the, it's actually our right of way, but I don't know, Steve took a picture of it, I don't see a lot going on there. But anyway, I'm gonna talk to Mike about that as well. That's it.
All right. So now we're at Miss Nature environment.
Well, I have nothing new to say. Last meeting, I mentioned that I had gone around to the various the Phragmites is nicely dyed. So we won't address that until probably June when I'll go on, because it just stays dormant for a while, so we won't see if there's any new growth. But we might be able to skip another year, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, but that's not a lot of money at this point,
No, it's
is
about
it?
600, I think it's something.
Is it
I think
that much?
500,
Well,
just fine.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
it's not a lot of money already.
But what I do is I take pictures of I think there's about 5 different areas or 4 different areas. And I send them to Mark Smith, who is our Phragmites expert, or the invasive species expert. And he tells me whether it needs to be treated or not, or whether, we skipped 1 year a couple of years ago.
Oh, we did, I think so.
But then it comes around back, and there is still that stand on Lake Terrace.
Oh, really?
That hadn't gotten,
I know, but then he treated
it's
it the
it's
next
in the
year.
water, it's in the water.
Did he treat it then the following year? after that
He's
was?
been treated, I don't know, the year we skipped, I'm not sure if we treated, but I did what he said, because I sent pictures of everything.
Yeah.
I seem to remember that when it's in the water, it presents some sort of
It's a-
special
more of
problem.
a-
Yeah, I don't think
Okay,
you
would
can
make
spray
sense.
chemicals.
It's a marsh is a problem that can be solved, but water is a real problem. But
Well,
That's
you
all
know,
I
it's that kind of marsh, it's that kind of area that's on Lake, that Dump Point Lake, I guess it's that strange house that's at the end.
Drum Part Lake?
It's at the end of Lake Terrace, and it's on Drum
Oh,
Point Lake.
I know what you mean, yeah,
And,
at the very end.
Right, at the very end, right. And that's the house where there was a dispute, the owner
Okay.
thought it was her property and chased the treatment guy away one day.
she likes Phragmites.
So,
But it's not her property, and we don't care if she likes Phragmites.
so that's all I've got. And as far as the Ivy League, I think Jenny still is doing it when she can.
I think she had her last one.
Or maybe because now we're getting more.
It's
more-
like now it's too
getting-
ticky.
It's too ticky
ticky,
now,
yeah.
yeah.
But you know, it's been such a cold winter.
I would be out there.
Yeah, but I think the tick population is gonna be very low.
Whatever
Oh,
it is.
Right now it might be,
Yeah.
but it'll explode.
And I was told by the vet, as soon as it hits over 50
Yeah.
degrees, they're back.
Yeah, they're back, but they're not gonna be back in the same numbers that we had
Yeah,
last
Well, it
year.
takes
one is too, I was gonna say, one is too many.
I've had lung disease, I know, it
No,
takes a while.
yeah, I know, but you know, but the population number, the
Mhm.
population is gonna be smaller, just because there are fewer of them got through the winter.
No,
I don't know if it takes.
as far as what Bruce was talking about, as far as these grants, I mean, when we were walking down to check out the Phragmites and the special grass, the goose grass, or whatever they call it, there's a lot of private properties that have a lot of vines and ivy growing up, and it's not clear whether it's in the right of way or if it's in a private property, and maybe we
I think some of them are in the right of way, I mean, you know,
well,
you
she
look at
can
them,
only
they're
use, I
within.
mean, Virginia can only use so much, but
Oh, I know.
But maybe with this
Oh,
grant
yeah.
money, maybe we can help get some of these private properties
You mean
cleared.
the ivy?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I know.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean,
Or
we-
even just the SCLT properties and the ones we own.
Yeah, yeah.
Or the association owns. That should
Yeah.
keep us busy for a while.
Well, yeah, that's true.
And, well, the Drummond Club, they do their own, but, yeah.
Okay, well, that's all I got.
Ashley, just not to leave you out.
Yeah,
Give us a report.
I was walking over, I went on American Chestnut Land Trust
Mhm.
Trail
Mhm.
Sunday. And they had the bags down for parts of their
Mhm.
Phragmites.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, they have that coverage, yeah, that other, yeah.
And the peepers were out, they were peeping.
Uh-huh.
I only have 2 comments, and I just observation. When I was walking on the causeway, I noticed like the road is starting to, I know we've
Big
repaved
drop.
roads.
Is it degrading, or is it
Yeah,
kind of
just
collapsing?
Yeah, I know where the pond is on one side,
Oh.
Lake Charming's on one side, and the bay's on the other.
So what
It's just-
location is it, like on
It's
on the
Right
lake
on
side?
the, like in the middle.
Is it where there's that drainage thing?
Yeah, it's just, it just was like wear and tearing more than I thought.
You mean like
it
in the
would.
middle of the asphalt?
Well, if you just
Or on
go,
the
it's
edges?
kind of cracking, and I don't know if there's like, if it's going down, if it's sinking,
Walk down.
but
I'll mention it to Steve.
I don't know, I mean, I don't think there's no like imminent thread or anything, but I just know, because before we paved it, it's like, all looks really good, and this,
So is it near the equalizer pipe? Is that kind of
yeah,
near
kind
that?
of like, yeah,
Is that what that's called?
yeah, but it's like nothing imminent, but I just started noticing
good
that
to
it looks like it's,
Keep on top of it.
yeah.
I just hope it's a figment of your imagination.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I'm pretty
Because that could be
sure, so I
expensive,
don't
that
think
could be
so.
expensive.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and it's nothing, I mean, it looks like it might just be like the beginning of
Oh, got it.
it, so, and my only other thing is like near my house, there's one, stop sign
Mhm.
on Bayview and across is like Lakeview
Mhm.
Drive. And it was around the time of the snow, so I don't know if someone ran into it or if kids pulled on it or whatever. The stop sign has just been like, I think it just needs to be, it's still standing, it's just
Right.
sideways.
Listing.
I don't know if Joe can just straighten it out
Well,
or.
if it's
Yeah,
just
is it one of the
listed,
newer
yeah.
posts? Can you tell? Is it like a square post?
Well, just have Joe look at it.
Yeah,
Maybe
I-
he can just
I
stand
don't,
it up.
I don't know if it's a newer one or not, I didn't.
Because what-
get it.
Yeah, he could probably just straighten it out regardless.
Yeah.
But if, what we try to do is like,
That's
replace
why I
the
get
older
rid of it.
posts with the new ones.
Yeah,
Because
I
then
think
they're not so prone to kids
Yeah.
falling
Falling on them,
Tell me
yeah.
this, John. Do not disturb.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Okay, that's all I have.
Well, I'm sorry I
Yeah,
asked
sorry.
you.
I put the do not disturb on.
And then just real quickly, welcome committee, not much, I distributed 2 out of 3 on here.
Oh,
And there's supplies
okay.
back there I need to
Okay.
probably get more brochures. but I'll check
And,
it out.
and Mike's not here for planning.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of any unfinished business, except the insurance work, and that's well underway, we've
Yeah.
already discussed it. And then new business, well, we already had the presentation from Bruce,
Mhm.
so I guess that leaves schedule the next meeting.
I believe April Fool's Day is
I think
it?
it is April
Oh,
1st.
is it?
yeah.
I think so.
Mike said he could be here April 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, is what he said.
April 1st is the first Tuesday.
Yeah, so that works for me.
Well, we can have a large turnout on April Fool's Day. But I guess it works, April 1st, what's the difference?
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
It's right after Eid, so it's all right.
After what?
After what?
After Eid, the end of Ramadan.
Oh, indeed.
Come on, guys, what, you don't read or what?
No. Okay, so
That's
April,
I
April
worked in
1st.
NEA, let me tell you, we used to have Eid parties.
April
Yeah,
1st.
after Ramadan, we had a big office party.
There are a lot of Muslim people in the office?
No, we had a couple, and,
Alright.
well, we had a Christmas party, and I always said celebrate Christmas like Jesus did, and I had a Hanukkah table. And people always used to go, Tony, are you Jewish? I go, no, but so what?
Okay.
All right, so
Well,
April
1st
2nd
it will be.
or April 1st?
It will be. That's the Tuesday.
April
1st.
1, yep. Anything else before we call it a day?
One more thing.
Oh.
Finance committee.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
We have to schedule a meeting, and I was
Yeah.
thinking Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday next week, or Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday the
Let's see.
following week.
Um, So.
So you're talking about Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, March 26th, 27th, or 28th?
Or 19th, 20th,
Yeah.
21st.
Yeah. So it's only 2 hours.
Next week
Probably
is
it's worked in the afternoon.
Let me see,
years
what day,
past.
what are we talking about next week?
Well, we don't have a day we're talking about yet.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
the
next
20,
Things.
well, the 22nd is the general membership meeting,
Why would we do
right?
that afternoon,
What afternoon?
after the general meeting?
Because I don't want to work another 2
Oh,
hours.
okay.
on this.
Oh, okay.
Well, I really don't.
How about the,
I'm sorry.
Well, then what about the 21st?
oh, I may not be able to meet you with the 21st.
Oh.
About the 28th.
Well,
I don't know.
Or the
the
24th.
newsletter is advertised for people to volunteer
Yeah,
for this.
yeah.
And I guess there's been no takers yet.
Well, it's just went out today.
Yeah, but the rush has been overwhelming.
I could do Monday the 24th, well, you don't come in that day though.
No, I don't come in, I work from home on Mondays.
I refer to that as don't work from home.
Anyway,
All
just,
right.
it's out there. Anybody that wants to participate,
So
What
what
day?
day?
A Wednesday, a
Well-
Thursday, or a Friday,
Okay.
next week
So
or the
you tell
following
me.
week.
Okay,
is the thing.
That's
Between 2
the,
and 4.
how
How about,
But I'm also hoping other people,
Well, I was thinking
How about the
maybe,
28th? The 28th would work best for me. All right, maybe even,
Good to know.
maybe even that Wednesday or the Thursday, maybe the Thursday or the Friday. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's a-
Next
that's a
week-
lot.
or the Friday.
Next week I have some tree work being done on my Bethesda house, and
so
I want to be there.
27 or 28?
The 28th would work for me,
28.
if you wanted to do that.
Okay, let's focus on that.
Okay, and then,
And as people hopefully volunteer,
yeah,
I'll suggest that date to them and we'll, it's always hard to
I know.
get a consensus.
and that's
So you're
what,
thinking
four,
of-
what time is it, 4 to,
2 to 4.
2 to 4? Where?
Okay.
Here?
Here.
Okay.
Usually get it all done in 2 hours.
Oh, it
Yeah.
doesn't take that long.
Oh, yeah.
I will,
It seems like it's done.
I will try to make it.
So
But
that's
it's
gonna be-
Friday, I should
It
be
is
able to
Friday,
make it.
yeah. It's a good day, I think, right?
And that's 2 to 4?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good, because I can come down that morning.
Maybe a week.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So we're all set?
Yeah.
Great.